Okay, here we are for part 9 of the F1 2015 career mode here with Max Verstappen. It's round 9, it's Great Britain, it's the Silverstone Grand Prix, and it's worth pointing out at the beginning that this is actually a after recorded audio. After recorded audio, nice words. The audio has been recorded after the actual gameplay because for some reason, whilst raging at the beginning of trying to record, I've somehow muted my mic and it hasn't recorded my live commentary, so cheers live, thanks. So yeah, we're recording this after the gameplay, so I'm watching the gameplay back with you guys and commentating over the top of that. But it's qualifying here for Silverstone, obviously looking to follow on from some good results most recently out at the track. So he had Austria last time out, and then the back-to-back wins at Monaco and Canada. It's doing qualified now. The first lap is a 34.8, which puts us P4, some 4 tenths away from pole at the moment, which is held by home favourite Lewis Hamilton. Coming round to finish another lap here in qualifying. Looks like it's going to be a slight improvement, just about catching the back end through there. And it's a 34.3 to go on pole position for the time being. Just about, I'm going to put one more lap in though, just to try and make it secure. So there you go, checker flags out, sliding it into the final few corners, rounding them nicely here, watching the back end on traction, driving to the line, and we're going to cross the line for a 1:33 here at Silverstone. That is by far and away pole position if I've ever seen one. Max is extremely happy, the engineer is extremely happy, which seems to be a recurring theme right now for F1 2015 career mode. Let's have a look at the provisional grid.
Fabulous performance from Max Verstappen. He's on pole for tomorrow's race. A fantastic result for the Dutch driver.
They've been working so hard as a team and they've been rewarded. Such a great performance. And if he drives like that tomorrow, then the race win will definitely be possible.
Well, there you have it. Max Verstappen on pole by nearly 6 tenths of a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Rosberg being out-qualified by Hamilton once again, followed by the Ferraris, I believe. But it's now race time for the Silverstone Grand Prix. It looks like it's dry and sunny, which makes a difference. 23 degrees there, sunny out on track. It's going to be difficult race with the tyres.
The Verstappen name is back in Formula 1. And today it's written upon the board, standing right by pole position. He's made everyone stand up and take notice, and I'll be cheering him on as best I can from the commentary box.
He's definitely going to be difficult to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
Just what do you think will be going through Fernando Alonso's head as he watches now how well Ferrari are doing this year?
Fernando left Ferrari as he didn't believe they'd be able to offer him the opportunity to win that third world title. If he knew this form was around the corner, I dare say he would have stayed put.
Well, there you have it. The opinions of the commentators there, Crofty and Davidson, really rubbing it in the face of Alonso. Let's be honest. There's no need, is there? Really? Let's face it. He's doing his best. But there we go. Crofty giving us his cheerings on from in the commentary box. Not sure how much that's going to count for today. But we're now looking at the strategy. Looks like it's going to be a two-stop, and obviously Silverstone having one of the longest pit lanes on the calendar, as far as I'm aware. Very long pit lane, very slow speed. It takes an absolute eternity to go from one end to the other. So that's going to be crucial. Trying to make sure we look after the tyres to make sure we don't have to make any more pit stops than necessary. But also, again, the nature of the track means fresh tyres is going to pay dividends around here. So it's difficult to see. We're going to head out onto the track now as the 5 lights are coming on. Revs building, engines on. 5 lights. And away we go here for the British Grand Prix. It's an okay start, it's pretty average. Hamilton flies past us up the inside. Rosberg not finding a way through. Now looking around the outside of Hamilton into P1. We've got the first position back here ahead of Hamilton. Raikkonen up to 3rd. Looks like a Williams jumping up to 4th as we're taking it very tentatively through these first few corners, making sure not to lose the car. We want to keep P1 for as long as possible. You know that's crucial as we now come down this first of the quite long straights here. Hamilton in the slipstream. We know that Mercedes is super quick in a straight line. Here he comes. We're going defensive already as we come towards the start of the second sector. Hamilton looking around the outside, but we say no, and we keep P1 for the time being. Holding it through now, making sure we hold on to this first position. It's going to be crucial for this part of the race as we now cut to the end of lap 2, starting lap 3. Still ahead of Hamilton. Raikkonen is still in 3rd, and it's about at this point you'll notice 19 runners, and somebody has dropped out of the British Grand Prix. Hamilton's name has disappeared from the timings in the top left. What on earth has happened to Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes? It seems like it's going to be an issue with him, I presume. Obviously, it was only a couple of races ago. We had Rosberg retiring with an engine failure, and there we go, Hamilton pulling off with what seems to be another engine failure for the Mercedes Works team. ridiculous unreliability on the Mercedes this season, as we said. So here we go, start of lap 3 for the home favourite. As we get the camera angle here behind the car, and what you're going to see now, you can see it already, there's the puff of smoke. That engine is goners, and Lewis Hamilton out of the British Grand Prix. Unbelievable scenes here. As we now cut to lap 6, as you see, green flag appearing for some reason. And if you notice at the mini-map, Bottas, who's now up into second, is going extremely slowly and holding up the rest of the field as well now. Absolute chaos unfolding at the British Grand Prix. Here we go then, on board with Bottas, coming around the left-hander, now coming into this long sweeping right, very demanding on the tyre. And bang goes the front left. It's a puncher for Bottas in the Williams. P2 he was running, and now he's facing himself with a puncher. Silverstone obviously known for being a very demanding track. Obviously we had the massive chaos of, what was it, 2013 I think, with the tyres and exploding and everything. And now you can see the Ferraris, Rosberg, Massa being held up, and there's a Force India trailing behind as we now cut to the start of lap 8. We're into the pit lane. Looks like we're being followed in by Massa as far as I'm aware. Vettel goes flying past, carrying on, as does Raikkonen and Rosberg. Another set of options going on to our car. 2.4 seconds, and you can see what I mean by the pit stop time. We're now over to half a minute and still counting whilst driving down the pit lane. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is why looking after your tyres and doing that one stop less could pay dividends, but again you've got to manage it against the actual tyre wear itself and how quick you are over the course of a lap. We emerged back into 7th place, 18 runners now, so we had another dropout. Not sure who that is, and we've got NASA up ahead as we now struggle on the cold tyres. Coming to the end of the lap now, as you can see, we were dropping off massively, and just look how much we're closing in one corner to NASA. You can see how much the understeer is paying off for them and making us catch them at a vast rate of knots. But as you can see, only NASA and it looks like possibly 1 or 2 more cars in the pit. It looks like got Hulkenberg in there and Ricciardo possibly, so 2 more. So that means up ahead is the 2 Ferraris, and Rosberg have stayed out for at least 1 more lap. If we come to the end of lap 10, 1 more car in the pit lane, it's Rosberg now coming in, but the 2 Ferraris still staying out. So at this point, I'm seriously wondering what's going on as we finally see the 2 Ferraris coming into the pit lane at the start of lap 12. And that, to me, says that's got 1 stop red all over it. So an alternating strategy yet again here in F1 2015 career mode. We're back into the pits at the end of lap 15, start of lap 16. It's a set of primes. Vettel now goes past. We're only 10 seconds ahead of him. Obviously combining, we have to add into the fact that we've already entered the pit lane at that time. But 2.5 seconds, here comes Rosberg and Raikkonen, who are having a hard battle throughout this middle stint. 37 seconds in the pit lane yet again, emerging in P4, but here comes Daniel Ricciardo flying through turn 1 and turn 2. Surely he's going to pass us here as we're on stone cold prime times with absolutely no grip. And there you see the evidence, there's absolutely nothing we can do. Massive oversteer, Ricciardo goes through into 4th, and we're now down to 5th place out of 17 runners, so we've lost another car in that middle stint. As you see, we can barely get on the power. So a couple of laps later now, Raikkonen and Rosberg up ahead. We've caught up to them with our fresh tyres compared to their old primes. They're side by side through Stowe. You can see the name tags flickering around in the top left as they try and battle for position. Vettel still up front, let's not forget. Raikkonen and Rosberg getting oh so close, almost touching through here, and you can see how much time they've lost compared to me just because they're battling each other. Absolutely ridiculous as we now start lap 19. It's going to be crucial if we want to win this race. And you think about the fact that Hamilton is already out as we catch massively through turn 1, picking up some understeer and actually going off the track there as we try to sweep out to make the move into turn 3, but it wasn't to be. But we're now within DRS range of these two and coming up to back markers as well, I believe. But obviously it's worth noting Hamilton, our main championship rival, who was 27 points ahead of us at the start of this race, is now out of this race and has been since the start of lap 3. So we've got a massive opportunity here to close in on him in the championship. And we need those 25 points. 18 points is not going to be enough as we're really closing in on Raikkonen. And we're going to launch one up the inside, and he sees us coming just about. That is brave stuff. Superb driving, that has to be said, from Raikkonen to see us coming. And we just about managed to get it slowed down to stop running into his side post. Stevens gets in the way now and comes back onto the racing line as we're coming up to lap him. Unbelievable. Raikkonen goes the other side. It was also almost Hakkinen and Schumacher-esque at Spa back in whatever year it was when they overtook whatever his face was. Really should know those details, but I can't off the top of my head. I want to say Zonta, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we're up behind Rosberg now, getting the run out of Maggots and Beckett's now onto the hanger straight. DRS active on us. Rosberg doesn't have it. Merry pulls out the way a lot better than his teammate did. We're now going on the outside of Rosberg down to Stowe. Can we get the move done? Indeed we can. We're ahead as we go into the braking zone, and that's P2. And it's going to be 7 laps to go to try and catch that man in the lead, Sebastian Vettel, the man who took away the win from us and prevented us from winning and getting more points than Hamilton last time out in Austria. We cannot afford to let that happen again. And as to be said, Vettel really change of fortunes compared to the early part of the season. If you remember, he's having DNF after DNF. The gap 10.5 seconds. We're now going to do a lap by lap basis to see how much we're closing. So 10.5 becomes 9.1. 9.1 becomes 7.9. Just over a second a lap we're gaining at the moment. 7.9 becomes 6.9. Again, our tyres now starting to go off as well as Vettel's, as we now finish another lap. 5.1 seconds. That's 1.8 seconds in one lap. 3.2 now with just 2 to go. And as you can see, coming up to the final lap now, Vettel is just there. His tyres have absolutely gone. Our tyres aren't in much better condition either, and we've got a huge train of traffic of 3 cars up ahead of us as well. This is going to be absolutely chaos for this final lap. 1.2 seconds. We've been gaining more than that over the course of these last 2 or 3 laps individually. So in theory, we have enough. We're close enough, and we have enough of time to get past Vettel. But obviously, catching is one thing, overtaking is another, as we all know in Formula 1. As you can see, just trying to get on the power. There's absolutely no grip. The front left tyre looks unbelievably mean. The front right tyre not looking much better either. Rosberg has been dropping off, as you can see, the engineer giving us some nice information there. As now the gap 1 second, not quite within DRS. Or maybe we were, I wasn't really paying attention. But at the moment, you can see we've got signs up ahead. Looks like we've got Maldonado and a Sauber and another car. So there's 4 cars worth of traffic up ahead actually. As you see, we're right on the back of Vettel now. We've got to make sure that we stay with him through Maggots and Beckett's, get the DRS. But of course, he's now going to have DRS on our teammate and the back markers ahead, so that's going to make it even harder. But we have to, as we now move up into Rich, we know this is the time. There's no more time left. This has to happen. And you can see closing all the way through Maggots and Beckett's. And now open up this final part and get the slingshot run out. And there we go. Vettel losing the back end. We're in the slipstream. Our teammate driving off the track trying to get out of the way. DRS active. And picking up the slipstream again. Vettel with DRS. Rich mixed it. We're just about hanging on there. Can we make it up the inside of the Stowe? We go for it. We just about get it slowed down on the limit of locking up there with the tyres on the edge. And we're past Sebastian Vettel. But he's not finished. He's coming back into the final couple of corners, looking around the outside. And we're going to hold it up the inside. And that is first position for the Silverstone race. British Grand Prix, P1 for Max Verstappen. It's another race win. And that makes it 5 top 2 finishes out of the last 5 races. Unbelievable. Since Spain onwards, we have been impeccable. Second place at Spain, first at Monaco, first at Canada, second at Austria, and now another first place here at Silverstone. And a DNF for our main championship rival, Lewis Hamilton. Unbelievable scenes. There's the champagne once again. Max Verstappen on that podium. Top step for the 3rd time in his career, 3rd time this season, joined with Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg. And no Lewis Hamilton. Let's have a look at the official classifications of the race then. Let's get the commentary as well in there, see what's going on.
Max Verstappen will go away from this circuit with a smile on his face after taking the race win, and with it 25 points, thanks to a truly remarkable drive.
You can't fault their commitment today. They really pushed hard and were rewarded with a race win. Fantastic achievement.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Well, there you have it. Max Verstappen, race winner yet again in F1. He's finished ahead of Sebastian Vettel, Nico Rosberg on the podium, Raikkonen down in 4th. You got Button up there in front of his own crowd in 8th place. Superb result for him. But again, 25 points compared to the non-scoring Lewis Hamilton. That is absolutely massive for the championship. Of course, we're heading towards the summer break. We've got Hungary up next, and then that summer shutdown. And there you can see Lewis Hamilton in DNFing. Valtteri Bottas after that punch as well, also DNFing. And Nazar DNFing for some reason as well. But that's massive for the championship. And there you see Hamilton 147 points. Max Verstappen 145, just 2 points in it at this point of the season. Nico Rosberg not out of it. You have to say 26 points. You've seen what's happened in the last few races. Hamilton went from last time I remember it was 49. And then within a couple of races it's now down to 2 points. So anything can happen in the season. But that has been part 9 of the career mode Silverstone Grand Prix. Next up is Hungary. So thank you for watching this episode. I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, it is bye for now.